More conversation, less confrontation with Mike Huckabee at 855-840-HUCK. That's 855-840-4825.
Welcome back to the Mike Huckabee Show. I'm one of those people who just cannot think that there's too much we can do for those who serve us in uniform. The men and women of our military are the ones who put their lives on the line for us and give us the incredible freedoms that we enjoy and most often take for granted. My blood boils when I think that we would ask them to pay more for their health insurance and to have to start paying for things that they believed when they signed up for military duty were going to be provided to them. And it's not an entitlement. If you're a member of the military, what this country provides for you is an obligation, a moral obligation on our part as part of our gratitude for what you do for the rest of us. And it angers me when I see any time the military being disrespected, either in a policy decision, in some financial way. And that's why when I heard that they were potentially raising the cost of military insurance for active duty people, I thought that's ridiculous. And also for retired military, those who have put their time in. There's a special group of those who have served us that we can't do anything for other than we can do something for their brothers and sisters in the military, and those are the ones who gave their all for this country. Debbie Lee is the mother of Mark Lee, who was the first Navy SEAL to be killed in the war in Iraq. And Mark gave his life in Ramadi, Iraq, August the 2nd, 2006, in a heroic action fighting against insurgents. Now Debbie is involved in an event that's happening today across the country, and we're happy to be part of it here on the Mike Huckabee Show. It's called Troopathon. And Troopathon is a grassroots organization that raises money to send care packages to American troops deployed in war zones all over the world. And Debbie, I welcome you. Thanks so much for being on today. It's a pleasure to visit with you.
You bet. Thanks for having me, Mike. I'm honored to be here to continue to support our troops. You know, I did not have any choice on August 2nd, the news that was delivered to me about my son's death, but I did have a choice how I responded. And by God's strength, I've been out there for almost 6 years fighting for our troops. Just as you said, when there's an injustice, I stand up and I go to, up on the hill or raise awareness on it and do what I can to honor our troops. And in response to Mark's last letter home, he talked about doing more random acts of kindness, how he could change this world. And I'm in the airport and I see a troop getting ready to buy their coffee or meal. I go pay for it, and I get double blessed because I'm doing it to remember my Mark and the amazing sacrifice he made, but also honoring those troops who give so much, just like you said in your intro. They're willing to give their lives for you and for me and for the freedoms that we have. And I'm honored today to be part of the Troopathon. This is the 5th one. I've been there since the beginning, and to be able to raise awareness, tell people their amazing stories, but encourage people to send care packages to them and let them know we have not forgotten them, that we do appreciate them, and we recognize they're still in battle every day for our freedoms that we enjoy.
You know, Debbie, I think sometimes we fail to recognize that acts of kindness that are given to our military when they're overseas and they're deployed, particularly those serving in the middle of combat, really do make a difference. And a couple of weeks ago on my Fox News television show, I had Sergeant Mark Evans, who started an organization off his kitchen table just because he and his son were eating pizza one night in Chicago, and his son said, "Dad, wouldn't it be great if we could give the soldiers some pizza?" And from that conversation with a man and his teenage son, Sergeant Evans has delivered 90,000 pizzas to soldiers in Iraq and Afghanistan, and just returned from a trip. It's those kind of things that make a difference. And I got an email from Mark, and he was talking about how he saw a lot of smiles from a guy who just got a couple of slices of home, and it meant the world to them to deliver 90,000 pizzas. What you're doing with Troopathon is making care packages available for these men and women of our military. Tell us how people can help, and tell us about the care packages. Are they something that are carefully prepared, and do they have the same thing? How does Troopathon really work?
You bet. They are carefully prepared. We've heard from the troops over and over those things that they like. There's and it's difficult to put care packages. When Mark was there, I'd go out, I'd find out what he wanted, go do the shopping, come back, put the things in the box. Of course, you got to stop at the post office, get the special box first, then put everything in it. Then you go back and you do the customs form. And we've heard from the troops what they like. It's got special gourmet coffee, and we've got jelly beans and Oreo cookies and sunscreen and lip balm and eye drops and, moist towelettes, hand wipes that they can take out individually with them. And so many of those things that remind them of home. As you said about the pizzas, sending a slice of America over there, I tell people it's like putting a piece of your heart in these care packages, and you can write a special note to them. And I got to hand deliver. I've been over to Iraq twice. I'm the first Gold Star mom in history to be in the combat zone. I had the blessing of going over my first Christmas after Mark died. I spent it in Iraq with the troops, and I got to see them open these care packages. And, it would not be unusual to see these are brave warriors that are willing to sacrifice. They go in battle for you and for me, and they'd open these care packages, and a tear would be coming down their cheek as they realized somebody back home who didn't even know them took the time and the finances to say, we love you, we appreciate you, we're grateful for what you're doing, and you're not forgotten. And, Mike, I get letters regularly from our troops who are deployed overseas that said, I've dedicated my life to making sure I take care of them and honor them. And a lot of them have asked, has America forgotten us? Do they forget we're still at battle? And I think when we brought our troops home from Iraq, a lot of people assumed we were done over there. And we're not. So many of our troops have been at this for 10 years, and they're growing weary, and they need us to encourage them. And the morale boost when they open these care packages is absolutely amazing. It's better than any Christmas gift for any child you could ever see. And it seems like something little, but it means so much to the troops.
Well, what they're doing for us is not little. It's tremendous. It's large, and it keeps us free. The website is Troopathon.org. And, Debbie, I trust that if people go to Troopathon.org, there is a simple mechanism where they can contribute. And if they contribute generously, they will be showing their support, their love, and their appreciation for our troops.
That's right, and they can watch it live. They can go to that same Troopathon.org, and our telecast is from 1 to 9 p.m. today, Pacific time, so whatever time zone you're in, adjust for that. But absolutely amazing. And, Mark's last letter home, talked about those random acts of kindness, and people can read that amazing letter that's about millions of people at americasmightywarriors.org. And as he said, we could change our world by doing random acts of kindness, and we can change our troops' lives today by making sure that every one of them gets a care package to let them know we have not forgotten them.
Thank you so much for being here. You talk about your son and the great sacrifice he made, and certainly he has. Let me say you, too, are a great patriot and a wonderful example for all of us. And thanks for taking what would have been an incredible, incomprehensible grief and turning it into something extraordinary for Mark's memory, but also for the benefit of all those who, like him, serve in uniform. God bless you, and I hope folks will go to Troopathon.org. Make a generous contribution because it is going to be helpful to our troops, and there's nobody on this earth more deserving than the people who serve us and keep us free. That's Troopathon.org, and we hope that you will make your contribution to that. And as Debbie said, it's live from 1 to 9 p.m., I believe, and that's on the you can watch it on Internet, so a lot there to take hold of. When we come back, we're going to be talking about income inequality. It really may not affect the economic crisis we're in, although we hear that all the time. We'll find out why it doesn't when we return. This is the Mike Huckabee Show.